The relative nature of outward appearances. Take a moment and make a list of all those outward appearances that you have inadvertently made the yardstick of your inner self-worth. See how all these things on your list actually require you to compare yourself to others or to seek outside approval in order to determine your self-value or how well you're doing. In other words, you can never really gauge how much money you have if you do not compare it to someone else's bank account, or how attractive you are if you do not compare yourself to someone else's looks. Okay? The changeability of outward appearances. Outward appearances are highly subject to change. A multi-millionaire can find himself bankrupt overnight, and the beggar can find himself a millionaire. There are no absolutes in outward appearances. The problem with this is that if you are using such changeable things to define your self-worth, then you are left aiming at an always moving target, because there will always be someone richer, more attractive, more materially successful than you. It can be no other way in the physical world of relatives. So comparing yourself and basing those things on your own personal value, like, it's never going to be fulfilling. Right? There's always going to be somebody that is doing it a little bit better, is a little bit younger, a little bit taller, a little bit more attractive, a little bit, in better shape, got more money, got a nicer car. You know what I mean? Like, it's never going to end. There's 7 billion people on this planet. Right? You got to define it for yourself. You got to define it for yourself. The paradox of valuing outward appearances. How you value yourself is a reflection of how you value others. For instance, if you have placed an undue value on money as a symbol of success, then in your estimation, people with more money are to be admired more than those with less money. Ironically, the very people who you admire most are also the people you envy most when their bank balances outdo yours. Therein lies the paradox. Whatever you admire most, you must also envy. In other words, you can never really be happy for those you admire most when your own self-worth is based on outward appearances. I hope you follow that. That's a really key point. If you're basing your value, your self-worth, self-value, those words are interchangeable, on outward appearances, right? So somebody else, is doing it bigger, better than you are, right? It's hard to appreciate what they're doing and not also be envious if that's my definition of success, because they're doing it and you're not. So it's not going to make you feel good that they're doing it and you're not. Now, if I'm able to define my own self-value, self-worth, right? And then I look at somebody else who's doing something that I aspire to do, then, I can appreciate what they're doing and look to them as a source of inspiration, because they're doing something. But if I never achieve it, it doesn't take away from who I am as a human being.